Doesn't mean they can't bother you at all. They can still bother you. But the influence they can have on you is very small. It's maybe very reduced a lot. So, the shayateen have been chained. That's the first thing. So it makes it a lot easier. You don't have that nagging thing. It's gone now. So it's easier for you to do good deeds. Also, the gates of paradise are open and the gates of the hellfire are closed. So in this month, Allah has made the ways to paradise easy and the ways to hellfire difficult. So this is a type of spiritual blessing of this month, to make it easier for us to do good deeds. Then, in the actual physical act of fasting, we have restrained ourselves from eating and from drinking and from intimate relations. Just the sheer fact of doing that itself, as obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is actually teaching us something very important. It is teaching us to restrain our physical appetites, our passions. It is actually a real physical restraint of our passions and desires. So it's teaching us, look, if you can stop eating and drinking and not have intimate relations from 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:15 or 5:20 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, if you can do that every single day for 30 days, wait a minute, that means you can control yourself. You are learning self-control. If you can control those desires, you can control other desires. You are learning. It is teaching you. You can do it. And a lot of the time, brothers and sisters, that's what it's about. You can do it. You can achieve it. Don't think that you can't. And especially living in this society where we are immersed and surrounded by disobedience to Allah, by people who are doing all sorts of things that contradict the divine guidance. But no, you can abstain from that. You can keep away from it. And Ramadan is teaching you that, my brothers and sisters, that you can do it. And the other thing is, of course, is very important. Community. You know, when you're fasting with others, and you're praying with others, and you're breaking fast with your brothers and sisters. And this is why gatherings like this are so important. They are so blessed. It is so, I have to say, I walked in here and straight away, I just felt so happy to see, mashallah, so many, brothers and sisters. Mashallah, it's fantastic. Makes you feel so glad. And when we eat together and break fast together, this is going to reinforce within us the unity of the Muslims. It teaches us, doesn't it? How, mashallah, you see the brotherhood in Ramadan. Don't you feel that brotherhood when we're all breaking fast? I remember there was a mosque I used to go to. We always had problems in that mosque. Different brothers were always having problems in that mosque. But in Ramadan somehow, everyone, they frown at you the rest of the year. Right? But in Ramadan they're smiling and ya akhi and this and that. And wait a minute, if you can do that in Ramadan, it means you can keep doing it. You can maintain it. You can achieve it. And when we do things together, it's very important. I don't know if, let's remember when we were kids, right? I don't know if any of you had a bicycle or, but, kids do crazy things, right? And they egg each other on to do more crazy things. So if you ever had a bicycle and you were with a group of kids, I'm sure you tried some stunts, right? You must have tried, setting up a jump and seeing how far you could jump, or see how far you could wheelie, or doing some crazy stuff, jumping from a tree. Maybe you didn't have a bike, but you must have done something. Climbing on top of the cupboards. Now if you're just on your own by yourself, right? It's just you. 100%, right? You may try some things. But if you're with a group of people and everyone is egging you on and encouraging you, you are going to do some crazy stuff that you never would have thought of even doing by yourself. True or not? Yeah? Okay, it's true. Yeah, yes, says one. Here's my arm, I broke it to prove it. So, it's actually the same in a positive sense. We as Muslims should be encouraging each other to do really pious things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To do really righteous things. SubhanAllah, look, if that brother can grow his beard, that sister can wear hijab, I can do it too. If they can do this, I can do it. If they can give that much charity, inshallah, I can give more charity as well. If I can give up doing the haram or give up taking a mortgage or whatever, I can do it as well. If that's why it's so important to enjoin the right and to forbid the wrong, to encourage each other, to make ta'awan, to encourage each other in righteousness and good deeds, and not to encourage each other in evil and transgression. But Ramadan, because we're together, inshaAllah, this community aspect is very important. So we encourage each other. And it is also, of course, Ramadan is the month of the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ, as I'm sure you know, used to read the whole Quran in Ramadan. And in the last Ramadan before he died, he read it twice. Ramadan is the month of the Quran. It's the month in which the Quran was brought down. From the Lawh al-Mahfuz to the house, I don't remember, Bayt al-Maqam or whatever, the house. Anyway, it was brought down and then it was brought to the Prophet ﷺ by Jibreel. So, it is the month of the Quran. And the scholars of the past, they used to leave aside the other books. Put aside the other books. And in the month of Ramadan, emphasize and concentrate on the Quran. Now, I came across a saying recently of Abdullah ibn Mubarak, and he said that the right of the Quran, its right, meaning what's the opposite of the right? When I give something it's right, what's the opposite of giving something it's right? Huh? Yeah, okay, giving something it's wrong, we don't call it that. We don't say giving something it's wrong. We call it oppressing. When you deny someone their rights, you are oppressing them. Yes? If you have a person who works for you, what is the right of that person? That person works for you. What is their right? They get paid. There you go, straight away. No confusion about that. A person works for you, it is their right that they get paid. If you don't pay them, you've oppressed them. Yes? Okay. So what is the right of the Quran? Abdullah ibn Mubarak said the right of the Quran is that we should read 100 ayat every day. That's what he said. The right of the Quran is to read 100 ayat every day. That means that we are doing some type of dhulm on the Quran if we are not reading 100 ayat. This is his opinion, but it's something we should think about. How many of us are doing that, brothers? I mean, even the bearded brothers and hijab sisters. Huh? How many of us read 100 ayat of Quran every day? That's what Abdullah ibn Mubarak said is his right. Okay. Now Ramadan is the month of the Quran. This is the month when all of us should pick up the Quran and concentrate on reading it, on memorizing it, on understanding it. And so let's just take a simple step, because one of the things I really want to emphasize, my brothers and sisters, is this. It is very unlikely, and I question whether it's effective or even healthy, that Ramadan will come and it will transform you completely, and you'll become like a wali. The deeds that Allah loves best are those deeds that are regular. They are done regularly, even if they are little. So make for yourself an ambition and an intention to do something that is achievable, that you know that you can achieve it. It's better than what you were doing before, but by the time Ramadan has finished, finished, you are going to commit yourself